Arsenal have done it again in an intense battle against Erik ten Hag's Man United. A 95-minute Declan Rice stagger sent the Emirates into limbs. So from Mikel Arteta's super subs to a reminder from Gabriel Jesus, as well as the reason behind Arsenal's new tactics. As per, let's break it all down and discuss the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1. Yo, what is going on, guys? Man MIDFIELD, welcome back to your boys channel, and I know you guys are doing sensational after the last minute scenes at the Emirates Stadium. It was fantastic to see. So as per, smash a like on the video if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and help your boy as we are trying to reach 200,000 subscribers. But starting off with Arsenal's midfield evolution. Going into this game, there was a massive surprise. There was no Thomas Partey. As Arteta said before the game, it doesn't look good. We need to do some more tests. I believe he'll be out for a few weeks. But what exactly has happened? Sammy Mockbell confirms Arsenal hope Thomas Partey will be available after the October international break, after he suffered an upper leg muscular injury in training last week, pinpointed as a combination of groin and thigh injury. A massive blow for Arsenal. How are they going to survive? Mikel Arteta turned to his inverted left back of Alexander Zinchenko, whose influence is undeniable, winning 1 out of 1 ground duel, 61 touches, 44 accurate passes, 1 key pass and 1 accurate long ball. Look at this guy's heat map. All over the left hand side but also towards the right. Playing alongside Declan Rice, Zinchenko had a very unique role, forming a midfield pivot, controlling the game. This game was a reminder. Zinchenko is still one of the most important Arsenal players. His ability to break the lines consistently, find Martin Odegaard in space, it allows for Arsenal to maximise their attacks. There is also another important factor. With Zinchenko back in the team, Arsenal also reintroduced a certain Gabriel Jesus. His first start of the season, and it was an impressive one. 7.2 overall rating, 1 clearance, 2 block shots, 2 interceptions, 2 tackles, 4 ground duels won, 2 aerial duels won, 74 touches, 52 accurate passes and 3 accurate long balls. A reminder to all Arsenal fans, and more importantly Mikel Arteta, that Gabriel is still a top centre back. His battle with Højlund summed him up as a player. A physical powerhouse not willing to give up. Alongside Saliba, this is the best Arsenal centre-back partnership. And Zinchenko helps maximise his strengths, allowing for Gabriel to play in areas where he's comfortable. There was one specific standout moment. Right towards the end of the game, Alejandro Garnacho running towards goal. Notice the body of Gabriel Jesus, stepping back and playing last-minute offside trap. These massive games are all about the fine margins. This was a match-saving move from Gabriel Jesus. As Jesus says after the game, Magalhaes' movement was incredible. I don't think people noticed that. He was very smart. He's a great defender, and these are the small details that win you games. But then you had the standout Arsenal moment, a 95th minute Declan Rice stagger to snatch all 3 points. After 95 minutes and 43 seconds, it was the latest ever winning goal in all of the Premier League matches between Arsenal and Manchester United. One of the best ways to win a game of football. United fans were heartbroken. Arsenal fans couldn't believe it. For Declan Rice, it was fully deserved. A 7.8 rating is highest so far at Arsenal. 1 goal scored, 85 touches, 64 accurate passes, 2 accurate long balls. Look at this guy's heat map, all over the central midfield. This was another evolution in Declan Rice's Arsenal career, given the official man of the match after the game. For the second time in 4 Arsenal appearances, Declan Rice has been the best Arsenal player. This was a massive step for Rice. How is Rice going to survive without Thomas Partey? Would he still be able to influence the game? But this is exactly why Mikel Arteta has signed him. Rice has got a natural ability to learn. He steps up game by game. On the ball, his confidence is growing, and there's definitely one standout attribute. Have a look at this graphic here. Ball progression of passing and carrying. Look at Declan Rice up there on his own. A unique ability to carry and pass the ball. Rice is the epitome of consistency. Look at all 4 of his Arsenal performances, all over 7.3 ratings. As Ramsdale says, the celebrations were crazy. We just sung Rice Rice Baby. Honestly, it was a strange afternoon. I never thought I'd hear Rice Rice Baby in the football stadium, with a bunch of 30 people ranging from 40-year-olds to 18-year-olds dancing around. But that's football, and that's what we love. For Rice, it was a statement performance in Arsenal's biggest game of the season so far. He stepped up, he was accountable. As he says after the game, this is why I'm at Arsenal. I want to push this club to another level. I want to push this club to another level. Moving on to the second thing, Arteta's different tactics. This game was always going to be fascinating. Erik ten Hag's Man United are a very intriguing team. They sit back, they can soak up pressure, and have devastating plays on the counter-attack. As Arteta said after the game, they are a great team, really well coached, and they make life difficult for you. The way that United play almost reminds me a bit of a Nottingham Forest. They're not trying to go toe-to-toe with Arsenal because they understand that Arsenal are the better footballing team. Erik ten Hag instead turned to transition football. Arteta was aware that that's where United are most dangerous. In the first half, we showed too much respect. Our press was not aggressive, with Andre Onana having the most touches on the pitch. Arsenal were not trying to expose themselves, limiting space in midfield, trying to keep it compact, but United was still able to find a moment. Rashford making it 1-0. That's where the game changed. Within 36 seconds, Martin Odegaard scored the equaliser, giving ARTETA'S also the fastest route to goal from any kickoff in the Premier League this season. It was quick, it was decisive, it was ruthless. An example of what Arsenal can do in the final third, when they don't overthink it. So far from Arsenal, we've seen glimpses. The system will always allow for chances to be created. Have a look at the XG. Arsenal 2.53, United 0.98. Even the stats are in Arsenal's favour. 55% possession, 563 passes, 64 final third entries and 3.5 expected threat created. The field tilt says that Arsenal had 75%. Once again, Arsenal were dominant, but then you have the eye test. In the final third, Arsenal don't have fluency. At times, it seems like we're playing with a handbrake. There is a reason behind this. Mikel Arteta is trying to diversify his tactics, moving us forward to different areas of the pitch, with Saka and Martinelli isolated out wide, giving space for Odegaard and Havertz to thrive in the middle. This is all new to the Arsenal players and it's taking time for them to adapt. The idea behind it is making Arsenal more unpredictable. Take for example Arsenal's potential penalty. Havertz finds himself in the middle, drives through Casemiro and Wan-Bissaka. Those are the type of moments that Mikel Arteta is trying to create. You only have to look at the Arsenal attacking midfield profiles. Fabio, Vieira, Smith-Rowe, Havertz and Odegaard, and Leandro Trossard. These are all comfortable ball carriers. The issue is that Arsenal are still adjusting. That's why at times we look rigid. Some fans will be concerned, but I am not. The reason behind that is the numbers. Even though Arsenal have not been anywhere near their best this season, we have won 3 out of 4 games on XG. We've got the second best XG against in the league. And most importantly, 10 points out of a possible 12. The Arsenal system is that good. Even if we aren't at our true level, we are still able to create massive chances and ultimately win games of football. Moving on to the third thing, Arsenal's super subs. With the game tied at 1-1, it was time for Mikel Arteta to turn to the Arsenal bench. On came Gabriel Jesus and Fabio Vieira, an example of how far the Arsenal squad's come. The fact that we're able to bring on players of this quality. To throw on Tomiyasu was a smart move. With Rashford moved to the right hand side, Arteta knew Zinchenko would have struggled. Tomiyasu was able to shore things up, winning 1 out of 1 ground duel, making 21 touches and 16 accurate passes. There was one specific very underrated moment. In the 94th minute, the game tied at 1-1. United are trying to counter-attack and Tomiyasu makes a fantastic tackle to win the ball back and give it to Odegaard, whose shot led to the corner of the Arsenal winner. The importance of Tomiyasu is going to be undeniable. With the injury to Yuri and Timber, with fitness and availability, he'll gain form, and more importantly, he'll get even more confident. Then you had the Arsenal third goal scorer. In the 11th minute of added time, up stepped Gabriel Jesus, a lovely solo goal with elite composure, dummying the ball and sending the low flying. Jesus turned a 0.25 XG chance into 0.79. His impact off the bench was fantastic. A 7.8 rating with 1 shot on target, 3 successful dribbles, 6 out of 6 accurate passes and 1 key pass, as well as 3 ground duels won. All of that in just 14 minutes. A unique ability to constantly cause chaos in the final third. His ball carrying ability gives Arsenal something different. He gives the Arsenal attack fluency, comfortable on the right hand side and on the left hand side. It makes us even more unpredictable. His goal for me was a telling moment. In years gone by he may have panicked and taken a snapshot, but in that moment he slowed things down and did what elite strikers do, passing the ball into the back of the nets. There was also another standout super sub. Up stepped Fabio Vieira once again, a 7.3 rating with 1 assist, 16 touches, 13 accurate passes, 1 key pass, 1 big chance created. Playing on the left hand side in the space of Kai Havertz, Vieira was a game changer. That's now 2 assists in 2 games. We are now seeing the impact of self-belief, his composure in the final third, ability to always find the right pass. Have a look at this graphic here. For under 23s in Europe with progressive passes and expected assists, look at where Fabio Vieira is, right alongside Trent Alexander-Arnold, a level above the rest. Vieira has been brought into Arsenal to be the final action player, with Odegaard being more of a tempo setter. The final pass goes to Fabio Vieira, the prime example being the assist against Fulham. Very similar to a Kevin De Bruyne-esque pass. Vieira is starting to believe in himself, making things happen and not scared to take a risk. Surely he has to be starting. I also want to give a quick shout out to Reece Nelson. His urgency in the final third was exactly what Arsenal needed. It creates momentum in Arsenal's favour. It gets the fans excited and going. The level of depth that Arsenal have is crazy, with Trossard and Smith-Rowe just chilling on the bench unused. Mikel Arteta had some fantastic options. This game was a prime example of them being difference makers. Moving on to the fourth thing, Arsenal's elite forwards. 1-0 down and the going getting tough, Arsenal needed leaders, so up stepped the captain Martin Odegaard. A 7.5 rating with 1 goal scored, 51 touches, 26 accurate passes, 2 shots on target, 1 successful dribble and 3 ground duels won. In these big games, Odegaard is standing tall. Have a look at this guy's level of consistency. Over the span of the last 9 games, consistently playing at a high level. His shooting ability is reaching a new level. That's now 16 non-penalty goals since the start of last season. Only 5 players in the league have scored more in that time. Haaland, Kane, Salah, Rashford and Wilson, with Odegaard being the highest midfielder over Kevin De Bruyne. Look at the way he smashed the ball to the back of the net. No hesitation whatsoever. It was a goal from the training ground. It reminded me a bit of an old Arsenal goal. Think back to Mesut Ozil against Man United back in 2015. Odegaard keeps growing as the Arsenal captain. What I love so much is being inside the ground, how engaged he is with the Arsenal fans, always trying to get them going. He realises the importance. Fans are able to create a special environment. The atmosphere on this day was sensational. I also want to give praise to another forward. Eddie Nketiah was outstanding once again. A 7.0 overall rating. With 1 successful dribble, 38 touches, 19 accurate passes and 3 key passes. Look at this guy's heat map, equally on the left and right hand side. This guy was working both centre backs. Eddie is reaching a different level physically. His ability to hold off Lindelof and Martinez was very impressive. Eddie is able to make something out of nothing. Take for example his run against Victor Lindelof, where he easily could have got him sent off. The ball seems like it's going out of play, but Eddie doesn't give up, chasing the ball down and winning the free kick. This guy's mentality is elite. He's a fighter on the pitch. Now we need to talk about the performance of Kai Havertz. Now the numbers aren't too bad. A 7.1 rating with 34 touches, 22 passes, 1 key pass, and 2 ground balls won. But that does not tell the entire story. Havertz was having a poor game, where he could have easily scored in the first half. He scuffed the ball to Nketiah, but it's also his on-the-ball responsibility. Havertz is not giving us enough urgency. Too often we see him pass sideways. He tries to keep it too comfortable. This could be down to a lack of confidence. Havertz understands that the entire world is watching. There is so much pressure on his shoulders. But Arteta says after the game that I said to Havertz, things are hard at the beginning. When I met my wife at the beginning, it was hard to conquer her. I had to try to message her and go. And at the end when she says we can be together, it's beautiful. Mikel is trying as hard as he can to back Havertz, but now he needs to protect him. Take him out of the Arsenal starting 11. Allow for Havertz to slowly grow into the Arsenal team and earn his place. Let's not forget that even in terms of Martin Odegaard, in his first 2 months he was sitting on the Arsenal bench, but naturally was able to earn his place. With the amount of options that Arsenal have, especially in attack and midfield, there is no need to force Kai Havertz into the Arsenal team. Playing on the left hand side is a new role to him. Think about him at his best at Bayer Leverkusen. His heat map shows that he was thriving on the right hand side. It's time for Mikel Arteta to show his ability to manage the player. Take him out of the limelight and give him time to slowly adapt. If he is as good as a player that Arteta believes, it's only a matter of time before he thrives. Moving on to the 5th thing, improvement needed. The way that Arsenal won this game was special. 2 goals after the 95th minute. Being inside the ground, I couldn't quite believe it. The goosebumps that you get in that moment. It's what football is all about. Look at Mikel Arteta's face after the winning goal. The emotion is undeniable. It's part of what makes Arsenal so beautiful. Especially at the Emirates Stadium, they never stop fighting. The goals against Bournemouth, against Man United last year. It reminds me a bit of Sir Alex Ferguson and Man United. The so-called Fergie time. It's slowly becoming the Arteta time. But things could have been so different. If Garnacho was a few inches behind, he would have been onside. He may have scored the winning goal, and the narrative would have been different. But we also have to be honest. In these first 4 games, Arsenal have not been fluent. And I believe there's a clear reason behind that. At this stage of the season, Mikel Arteta is still somewhat experimenting, finding different ways of playing and trying to make Arsenal unpredictable. And it's better to do that now than later in the season, when you're forced into making changes. And the players that have sat on the bench all season are thrown into the deep end. It's all about peaking at the right time. Last year, Arsenal were outstanding in the first half of the season, 50 points after 19 games, but it became unsustainable. This year, Arteta is trying something different. As things stands, Arsenal are 5th, 10 points out of 12 and 3 wins out of 4, only 2 points behind top place Man City. Now comes the international break, and after that, Arsenal have a massive game at Goodison Park against Everton, a ground where Mikel Arteta is yet to win at, and after that it's a game against PSV in the Champions League. This is where I want to see Mikel Arteta find the right balance. Vieira, Rice and Odegaard, a front 3 of Martinelli, Jesus and Saka, is something that I want to see. But you've also got Nketiah and Trossard, Emil Smith-Rowe, Kai Havertz. This is the beauty of having options. Arsenal finally have some squad depth. Here's where I have a question for you. 4 games into the season, what have you guys learned about this Arsenal team, and what do you believe needs to change? That is the video there and there though, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you have, don't forget to smash a like and also subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was the 5 things we learned from Arsenal 3, Manchester United 1, a Declan Rice dagger in the 95th minute. It was sensational scenes, the Emirates was shaking and the rice was certainly cooking. So I'll see you next time, take care and a bit.